Welcome to another edition of the Wranglers Roundup, talking Northern Arizona Wranglers football with Coach Les Moss and the Wranglers broadcast team of James Poovey and Ed Cole. Let's ride.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside Buffalo Wild Wings here in beautiful Prescott Valley, Arizona. We are excited to kick off season number 3 of the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup. James Poovey coming to you live here alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Ed Cole. Ed, we're excited for another season of the show here. A new location this season here at Buffalo Wild Wings, and we have a very special guest joining us here right off the jump on the show here, Ed.
Oh, folks, and Coach, in case you've never seen or met this silent partner, this is the 2022 National Championship Trophy. What a beautiful piece of hardware this is.
Indeed it is. We are so excited to bring you another season of the Wranglers Roundup. We're going to visit with Coach Les Moss and a couple of players here tonight. Quarterback Garrett Kettle. Also, who else is joining us here this evening, Ed?
Travion Banks, defensive back for your Northern Arizona Wranglers.
So we're going to talk to one guy from each side of the football. Hopefully you got to see the game on Saturday night. Unfortunately, the Wranglers coming out on the losing end of things, but they battled hard all night, Ed, and it's tough in that first game because the team still has to come together. They've only really been together when it comes to the first game about 7, maybe 8 days total,
right?
And probably only a couple of hours of true work together up to that point. It's tough sometimes.
And it does take some time for a team to gel and build that chemistry and that camaraderie, especially when you've got a bunch of new players coming on to the roster. But over time, as you saw on Saturday night, this team started to get themselves together. They started to figure it out as a team. And I'm encouraged about what's going to happen on Saturday when the Vegas Nighthawks come to the FTC, which is a stone's throw that direction. So we're excited about what's going to happen on Saturday, but we are also excited about the great guests that JP mentioned that we're going to have tonight.
Yes, we're going to talk with Coach Les Moss. We'll also talk with quarterback Garrett Kettle, and Travion Banks, defensive back for the Northern Arizona Wranglers, will be joining us here as well. It's a great venue here as well at Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm excited to have some food after a while, Ed, and it's going to be a great place to have the coaches show.
And are you finally happy to have your Mountain Dew? What is it called? Mountain Dew?
Mountain Dew Lightning or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's Legend. I'm sorry,
Legend.
Mountain Dew Legend.
It's really good. I'm not a soda guy, but it's really good.
They said it was really sweet, and they were exactly right, which hits on all cylinders for me. So good stuff. We'll take a short time out here and come back to Buffalo Wild Wings here in beautiful Prescott Valley, Arizona, and visit with the aforementioned head coach Les Moss of your Northern Arizona Wranglers right after this. Stay with us. More coming up next right here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup.
That's funny. Desert School's changed their name.
Yeah, now it's Desert Financial.
Alice Cooper! Wait, what are you doing here?
I'm telling everyone, school's out.
For summer?
Forever.
Whoa! Whoa!
Dude, put your card in.
You got a voice, Molly. Use it. Do it for the phone.
Let's do it for the phone. They do so much for you. When they're out there all alone, there's something we can do. T-Mobile, look at these maps, they don't lie. And faster speeds nationwide. Let's do it for the phone.
We welcome you back inside Buffalo Wild Wings here in beautiful Prescott Valley, Arizona. The Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup on the air. James Poovey alongside my broadcast partner, Mr. Ed Cole. We're pleased now to be joined by head coach Les Moss of the Northern Arizona Wranglers. Coach, thanks so much for joining us here. We're excited for another season of the show, and we're excited to talk Wranglers football with you again.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, sir.
So obviously game one didn't go the way we wanted it to. We started out kind of sluggish there in the first quarter, but the team got things together there toward the end of the first half. Just talk about the overall performance of the team. Obviously, you guys didn't have a whole lot of time to gel together, which is normal in the indoor football game. And just give us an overall perspective of the game from your point of view.
You know, it kind of went, I don't want to say like we thought it would, because we do have a lot of young players. Our expectation was, you know, we felt like we were going to be able to come out offensively, and we really had a good training camp offensively. So it was a little bit of a surprise that we got stopped our first two possessions like we did. But, you know, that was Nick's first time out there with live bullets at him.
Yes.
And you know, we had some rookie offensive linemen. We had some snap issues throughout the whole game. You know, there was just things that happened to us that were really self-inflicted wounds. And a lot of it was, to be honest with you, was a snap from center. We're trying to break in Zach, who has never played center in a game. That was his first time playing center in a game. Mm-hmm. And we did have issues, not all the time, but at key times in the game. Yes, and especially there in the first half. So that kind of slowed, because our offense is all about timing, and everything we do is timing. If the snap's a little late, or if the quarterback's got to look down and go down to the ground to pick it up, and he can't see what the defense is doing, it really takes us off schedule.
That extra half a second can kill you.
Oh yeah, it takes us off schedule, and you know, they did a good job game planning for us. We got down, I believe it was 22-2, right?
21-2.
21-2.
Yes, sir.
And you know, we're saying just keep playing. I mean, you know, I mean, that's not an insurmountable lead at all.
Sure.
In the IFL. So the guys did a great job of keeping their composure and continuing to play. And, you know, we're in decent shape. We're in pretty good shape as a team. And I think fatigue started to set in on them. Our guys settled into the game, and we were able to get back in it. And then, of course, we had that big play with the blocked field goal right there at the end of the half that got us within one possession. And then we were able to do exactly what our goals are. You always want to score last in the first half, which we did with the defensive score, special team score. And then we got the ball to come out the second half, and we were able to go down and score. So we were executing the plan at that time. And it was a back and forth duel. You know, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, were kind of feeling it out. Yeah, and I think both teams were, you know, early in that first quarter. But once we settled in the game, it became a really good game. And, you know, that was a very veteran team that we played.
Yes.
You know, Nate Davis is a great quarterback. He was the league MVP in 2021. He's coming off an injury, but he knows exactly where to go with the ball. He's got a lot of experience in these leagues. And you know, he was able to kind of dink and dunk us all the way down the field at times, but the defense came up. You know, our defense had 4 stops in that game. We just got stopped too many times. We were stopped 7 times. We had 4 turnovers, and, you know, offensively, anytime you turn the ball over 4 times, or if you get stopped 7 times in a game, you know, normally you're going to get blown out.
Yes.
We were driving down the field to tie the game up at the end. So we're really happy with the way the players responded to that situation. We were put in situations that we'd worked on, and we were successful in some of those situations. Some of them we weren't, but it was the first game out for 80% of our roster, you know, 70% of our roster. So we saw some, you know, just like last year, we're not discouraged at all. We know that we have the makings of a good football team.
Oh my goodness.
And the players know that too.
Yes.
I mean, they can feel it also, and they're coming together and they're working hard. So you know, I mean, everything's right in front of us, and we know that. We're 0-1. We were 0-1 last year. Last year we scored 9 points in the first game. This year we scored 35. So we feel like we're ahead of ahead of the game.
Absolutely, Coach.
Yes, sir. So Coach, you talk about being down 21-2 in the first quarter. Second quarter, you outscored Duke City 19-6. What did the team need? Any self-motivation? Did they need any words from you, or did they just go out and just handle business in that second quarter and kind of flip the script on Duke City?
There's really not much you can say to guys when they're, out there playing for the first time in a different environment. You just got to kind of let them play and let them start to figure that out. And, as far as motivation goes, those guys were ready to play. They just we were just trying to guide them. And, once Garrett got in there, the offense started clicking a little bit. And, of course, he was running the ball. He had over 100 yards, I believe.
108, yes.
108 yards. I mean, his running was dynamic.
Oh.
He was taking off, and those guys were scared to tackle him. You could see they didn't want to.
Oh, there was a couple times where they did not want to step up.
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
They didn't want to mess around with him. So that really helped. And I think that helped him kind of settle in. But, the snap issues, I mean, that was a big issue for us. And we'll work to get that corrected this week. But, overall, it was a pretty good performance, I thought, against a veteran team. Last year, that was an expansion team that we were going up against that we only scored 9 points.
Yes.
So,
yeah, exactly.
we just went up against a playoff team that was a veteran team, and that veteran team beat us last year also. So, we're obviously we'd like to be 1-0 at this point, but we are happy with the team that's here.
Absolutely, Coach. You talk about the fact that you guys faced a veteran team with a guy like Nate Davis, who got injured last season and then essentially put a coach's hat on right after, because he's that good. He can get out there and really help some of those young guys. I thought you guys played pretty well on Saturday night. And talk about switching a guy like Zach Thomas to a different position on the offensive line, which is so critical to success in the IFL. What transpired there? And I thought Zach did well, considering the fact, especially it was his first game at center.
Yeah, Zach didn't have his best day.
Yeah,
and he knows that. But it wasn't necessarily his blocking as it was, the snaps. But that's the first thing that needs to happen.
Sure.
Our quarterback has to get the ball
right
clean. So, but we had a veteran player that decided not to play at the last minute.
Okay,
and at that position.
Sure.
And so, we moved Zach in there. We worked with Zach last year all through the season as a center.
Okay.
For emergency purposes.
Sure.
And we work with really all of our offensive linemen. We get them snapping the ball because you never know. I mean, we only dress 21. If you only dress 3 offensive linemen, you got to work everybody. So we work anybody over 300 pounds. We have them come over and see if they can snap it. Now that doesn't set well with the quarterback sometimes, but that's
we'll ask him about that here in a minute. But yes, that's perfect. Oh man.
Coach, when you look at your defense, 2 sacks, Theo Majette had 1, Tremont Lofton had 1. You had 6 tackles for loss, 4 pass breakups, 2 block passes, 2 blocked the block field goal attempts. How did you think your defense played as a whole? I thought they settled in and played pretty well. We had some alignment issues, some assignment issues, just, first time being out there, some technique, things, a lot of things that we can clean up, but they're all fixable. The guys can play. And as long as they can play, we can teach them. So I thought they did a good job. I think our defensive line of scrimmage is going to be very good this year. Theo, I'm really happy that that trade's working out, and I think that trade's working out on our end a lot better than it is the other end. So we're happy to have him. We're happy with the defense, and really, I mean, they're going to continue to grow and learn also. So. The sky's the limit for this team. We're excited. They love coming to work, and as long as they love coming to work and are going to give the effort and learn, and they're all in. You can just tell they're all in. Today was a day off. We had treatment day, and almost the whole offense was in. They came in, so we're excited about them. I mean, they're working hard. And we got a tough schedule coming up. We got Las Vegas coming in here.
Yep.
And it doesn't get any easier. The teams that were a little weaker last year got a lot stronger. So we got our whole conference is really, really tough. So we got a great schedule. It's going to be a great competitive schedule, and we're looking forward to it.
Coach Theo's got a whole lot of ball get off, and I love to watch that guy play. It is something special. And you talk about the other teams, every team is getting a chance to gel every week that they play together as well. So it does not indeed get any easier at all. How excited are you to get back to work tomorrow? Obviously, you guys were off today officially, but tomorrow you
Well,
get back at it.
The players were off.
Yeah, I understand. But to get everybody back together and seriously go back to work and look forward to the Vegas Nighthawks.
Oh yeah, I mean that's it's always nice when it's fun to come to work.
Yes,
and it's and it's a good environment to work in, and everybody is working toward the common goal. It's awesome, and that's the kind of group we have right now. So,
Coach, last one from me. DeQuan Neal had a big game against Iowa the other day, so he's coming in. Of course, we know Quentin Randolph, a former Wrangler, he's coming back in town. When you look at the Vegas Nighthawks, what do you see from them?
They got a lot of talent. They're really good. I mean, they got a really good receiving core. They had some changes in their coaching staff, and Coach Miller's over there now. He was the head coach at Bismarck last year, but he's over there as the defensive coordinator now. So they've added some experience to their coaching staff. They're a good team. They got an MVP as a quarterback in DeQuan. I coached him in Iowa in 2021. I called him. My name for him was Magic. And
the Magic Man,
for a reason. And
he was magic.
He's good. I
yes,
mean,
he is.
He can do a lot of things, but we'll be ready for him.
The word elusive comes to mind when you think of DeQuan Neal. He's very slippery, but
he is.
yes,
He is.
I have no doubt, Coach, you'll go back to work tomorrow with all the guys and get these guys ready to roll on Saturday night at the Findlay Toyota Center. 6:05 kickoff this Saturday night between the Vegas Nighthawks and your Northern Arizona Wranglers. Head coach Les Moss joining us. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. We appreciate it. Stay with us here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup. When we return, we'll talk with quarterback Garrett Kettle. Stay with us here from Buffalo Wild Wings and Prescott Valley. We'll be right back.
There's a little piece of magic in the heart of the Verde Valley, where adventure is encouraged. Whether you're whining and dining, rocking and rolling, or pushing and pulling, it's your adventure. Play however you choose.
Who's to say you don't have the skills to reach the top? Who's to say you don't have power?
This is how we do it. Time to run it up. This is how we do it for the top.
Who's to say you can't own the stage? Who's to say you can't put a team together? Who's to say who's best? The best ever? Or who will be in the future? And with this game-changing team to inspire us, who's to say what's possible for you? Pepsi, play to inspire.
Buffalo Wild Wings win-win value lineup gives you and your friends more for less. With buy one, get one half off traditional wings every Tuesday. Buy one, get one free boneless wings every Thursday. And $3 tolls every day. Only at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I've got that blue sky. I've got that sunshine.
You got a voice, Molly. Use it. Do it for the phone.
Let's do it for the phone. They do so much for you. When they're out there all alone, there's something we can do. T-Mobile, look at these apps, they don't lie. And faster, speed nationwide. Let's do it for the phone.
If you're struggling to pay your energy bill or know someone who is, we're here to help. Find APS bill assistance programs to reduce your monthly payment or help pay down the bill. Short-term relief like crisis bill assistance can help during a rough patch, while our energy support program can reduce your bill every month. Explore all your assistance options and see if you qualify at aps.com/here to help.
We welcome you back inside Buffalo Wild Wings here in beautiful Prescott Valley, Arizona. We're pleased now to be joined on the show by Northern Arizona Wranglers quarterback Garrett Kettle. Garrett, amazing performance you had on Saturday night. Obviously not the outcome we wanted, but you came in that second quarter and you really lit a spark underneath this offense. We talked a moment ago about how much fun you had. Talk about how much fun you had Saturday night. This game is supposed to be fun. It's football.
Right. I mean, right when you get in there, you got to really focus in and get your mind right when you get in there. But, I mean, right when you get in your first professional game, everything happened so fast. And once you get in and settled in, it was a blast. I mean, just go out there and have fun. You're playing football at the end of the day.
That's it.
So, Garrett, when you got the call after you relieved Nick, what was going through your mind? Were there butterflies in your body once Coach said, "Okay, it's your turn. It's on you, QB1"?
Yeah, there's always those butterflies, but it's that excitement. You know what I mean? You just got to channel that and just focus. So once you learn how to channel those emotions and focus on your breathing and just focus at the task at hand, then everything else just comes.
You mentioned it was your first IFL game. How did it compare to the full-size game, if you will, as far as, once you actually got to see it firsthand, how really fast it was from play to play and even second to second sometimes?
Right. I mean, you have the field's basically cut in half dimensionally, almost exactly. Everything happens so much faster. Reads, your progressions, you got to get through everything quicker. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it just makes everything happens so much more fast. But it makes it so much fun to be able to get to the next play and just get started, just get going.
Did you feel like, and I noticed that you were really decisive especially when you ran the football ad, you saw it too. When you made that decision to go, there was zero hesitation. You were going before you even finished deciding that you were going, which is huge in this game. Do you think the overall speed of the game helped with that decision-making and the quickness of the decision-making?
Right. I mean, that's the big part of that too, is just kind of like once you got to be decisive. That's the biggest thing is when you make that decision, be decisive, go with it. You got to trust it too. And so once you make that decision, you got to follow through with it. And that's what you just got to be having that confidence with yourself.
GK, after that 16-yard run, I'm looking at it right here, 16-yard run in the second quarter, what was going through your mind? Were you thinking like, okay, I got this. I'm having fun right now. 16 yards. I'm banging these guys. They can't hold me.
Yeah, there's that was the one where I think I got a little excited. I was able to finally celebrate because in college you're obviously not allowed to celebrate, so I kind of got a little too excited and just chucked the ball up. I don't even know where it came down.
I think it's still in the air, actually, over there, about to land in the parking lot here.
Yeah, I don't even know where it came down, but I mean that's when you every play just kind of settling in more and more and getting more experience. The game kind of comes to you and slows down a little bit. So at that point right there, it was kind of just like, you know what, here we go. Let's have some fun. The game's on right now.
And clearly we can tell you love the physical nature of it. You are not afraid to bang into somebody or bang into those walls.
No, sir. No, sir. Not at all.
How quickly after the game were you itching to go back and watch yourself perform? Are you one of those guys that likes to watch it right away, or like, hey, I gotta put that away for a couple hours and come back to it? Maybe it's different between a loss and a win. I don't know. Talk to us about that process for you.
I'm more so wanting to itch and get after the film right after a loss more than a win, honestly. There's so much stuff that you can learn from in a loss. Even a win, you can learn from things. Mm-hmm. But in a loss, there's so many things you can learn from and get better from.
True.
Just look at the mistakes. The success is always going to be there, but the mistakes is where you can really get better at. And that's where I like to look at and see where I can better myself in those areas.
When you watch the film, do you focus more on your mistakes or the good thing or the really good things that you do?
It's a little bit of both, but you really want to focus on what you struggled with and how you can better that area, and just kind of figure out how you can attack that this week of practice and better that area where you struggled at and just become more decisive from that point on.
Talk about your offensive linemen. Obviously, those guys up front protecting you. You got Zach Thomas into a new role this season, so you guys are going to have to gel maybe more than almost any other pair on the football field. Talk about those guys up front and what they do for you.
Right. I mean, it all starts off in the locker room. I mean, the relationship I already have with those guys. I mean, we got in here just about 3-4 weeks ago.
I don't think.
Even 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
If that.
And
we clicked right away. And being able to have that relationship with those guys up front is huge. And they're great guys. And we know that we need to work on those snaps too, because that helps with timing, like Coach said. And so we know that's something that we need to work on, and that's something that we'll continue to get better at.
I bet anything, Ed, that'll be the first thing they do tomorrow during practice.
We did a little bit of it today. So
any inclination whatsoever.
Yes, sir.
Garrett, looking at your wide receivers, Jared Ware Jr., Ramad Jockey Bowman, GG, and Jeremy Neal, and others, that's got to be a good feeling for you as a quarterback to know that you've got so much talent at your disposal to throw the football to or hand it off to when you're not running the football and throwing it.
Right. I mean, you have a group of guys like that. I mean, that's any quarterback's dream. Have anybody that you could go to the ball with. If you have a matchup, you got all those guys you can go to. There's not a certain guy that, I mean, you got all of those guys that can just attack any DB at any point.
And does it help you that 3 of those wide receivers are returning veterans from this championship team a year ago?
Oh yeah, that's huge because I mean they're able to communicate with me as well. Because that was my first game, so they're able to communicate with me and tell me what they're seeing, and kind of talk to me and keep me in the loop on what they're seeing. And that's huge, being able to have that communication with veteran guys like that.
For sure. And how much did they help you when you first got here as a member of the Wranglers family, to really show you the Wranglers way, for lack of a better term, how Coach Moss likes things done? Right. Hey, this is how we practice. It's up tempo or whatever that may be. How did they really coach you along in that respect?
Yeah, I mean, Maud and I got here the day before we reported for camp, and Maud kind of hit me up before, and he's kind of helped me out before even camp started. That's awesome. That's one of those guys like that. And you have guys like Jeremy and GG that just come in and are able to help you out with anything that you need, with whether it's mentally or how do you approach the game. Obviously, because it's different.
Sure.
So it helps so much having those guys, and they already had that culture established before we even got here. So it was kind of like we didn't work on a culture; it was already established. And so we know what the expectation is, and just focus one day at a time.
Garrett, I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear the conversation you and offensive coordinator Rod Windsor have, because we're up in the booth and I'm just like, I wonder what they're talking about. I wonder what they're strategizing right now. So how's that relationship working with you and Coach Windsor?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, right away, we're able to discuss things. We're able to be open with each other. I don't feel hindered to have my opinions. He's open to anything I'm saying. And so that's awesome to be able to have a coach listen to you and take advice from you. Or even it's nice to hear things that he has to say, because he's such a great offensive mind, and learning from him, especially for my first pro level, to have a coach like that, and it's huge to be able to learn from a guy like him.
And now that you've been here for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it's been, and now you've had a home game experience, what's your overall impression of Prescott Valley, Arizona?
Man, I mean, when I first got here, I was kind of expecting it to be similar to like Ashton, Kansas.
Okay,
small,
okay.
But it's a lot bigger than that. It's a lot bigger than that. So I mean, the crowd that we had was awesome. It was electric. The game itself was it was so fun. I mean, that's everybody's dream, to go play in front of that amount of people and the sound. And I mean, it was awesome to have that backing. I mean, we had all those season ticket holders coming and supporting us. I mean, the amount of support that we have in this community is awesome.
It is really cool. And I bet it had to be exciting out there for the first. I bet it felt like it went by in about 9 minutes overall.
After the
so
game,
much fun.
I mean, I tell you, after the game, I get back and I check my phone, and I'm like, it's 10 o'clock. I mean, yeah. It felt like it was just, I mean, game started at 6. It felt like we were just out. It happened so quick, like you said. I mean, but I mean, I'm excited. So getting back at work, getting back at it tomorrow.
That's right.
Garrett, how exciting was it for you to see those banners drop, that Western Conference Championship banner and then that beautiful blue National Championship banner? I'm sure that probably put chills through your body.
Oh yeah. I mean, being out there and seeing those banners drop was something special for sure. And that was last year. So now we're kind of just ready for this year. That was the past from last year, and just got to focus on the present now.
We're turning the page. That's all right. Speaking of turning the page, we got to turn the page now to the Vegas Nighthawks. What have you seen from them on defense that's going to present a challenge for you from the quarterback position?
Right. They got a lot of talent. They got a lot of talent on their defense. So that's going to be something that, I mean, almost every team's going to have in this league. It's a very competitive conference. So we're just going to have to take what they give us and just kind of go from there.
That's it.
Yep. Well, Garrett, we appreciate you coming through. I know you got some other stuff to do. You got to get back with your brothers and continue to bond and build that relationship some more as we get ready for Vegas. But we appreciate your time and coming on through Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Quarterback
yes,
Garrett Kettle of your Northern Arizona Wranglers joining us here on the program. Stay with us. We'll return here in just a little bit and visit with defensive back for your Northern Arizona Wranglers, Travion Banks, when we return right here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup. Stay with us.
Obviously, we got termites.
Well, the first thing is, you got to know what they're biting on.
Whoa, yeah.
This aged birchwood is perfect for the big ones this time of year.
Oh.
They gobble it up like a candy bar.
Nice.
What's going on?
What?
I told you to hire a pro.
I did get a pro.
An Orkin pro.
I got this.
Got termites? Don't call any pro. Call the Orkin Pro. With over 120 years of experience, nobody's better. Orkin, the best in pests.
You're still paying me for this.
Just relax.
And that's cut. We are clear.
Come on, Playmaker. Why you always got to be so awkward on camera? I would say you're making me look bad, but we both know that is entirely impossible.
It was possible back in the day on the football field, that's for sure.
You got to be losing your mind. Somebody roll back these tapes, man. Can somebody get this man some water? He ain't feeling well. Please, somebody.
We'll all feel better when you stop all that trash talk.
Dog, are you serious? Look like you needed some real trash talk. See, this ain't trash. This is recycling, which means it goes in the recycling bin. Schooling you again, Playmaker, as usual.
The only thing you ever schooled me on was how to get away with bad calls. That was embarrassing.
Not as embarrassing as you putting recyclables in the trash can.
When did we start talking about your touchdown dance? That was embarrassing.
You've gone too far. My God.
Look like old days. Boy, you know I love you.
Know the difference? Make a difference. Be a team player and recycle. Visit PepsiTrashTalk.com to learn more.
We welcome you back inside Buffalo Wild Wings here in beautiful Prescott Valley, Arizona. Another edition of the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup on the air. We're pleased now to be joined by defensive back Travion Banks. Travion, thanks for joining us. You had a good game on Saturday night. Talk to us about your experience Saturday night and your first game as a Wrangler. How was it?
First game beat my expectations. It was better than what I expected. Coming from outdoor football, you're not really that close to the fans. They can touch you. They can just fist bumps and everything. And that was like really just exciting for me, especially because I wasn't able to play football since 2020. So
really,
yeah.
Last
game was 2020. It didn't look like it. I know.
I like it.
Sure
I
did
like
look like
it. A little swag.
But,
it looked like you just played yesterday.
Yeah, the fans, they were great. The whole environment was great. So yeah, just every week, just want to get better. Environment get better. So yeah, we get better.
Travion, we always talk about the speed of this indoor football league game as opposed to college football where it's outdoors. It's 100 yards as opposed to 50. Could you tell the speed was different than the speed of the game that you're normally used to?
For sure. Speed of light, actually. It was very fast. The first two drives for myself, well, really, yeah, first 2 to 3 drives, it was just really fast coming from outdoor and then coming here and play indoor. Like, yeah, just really fast, but it slowed down. And I think you kind of see that through the game with the defense because we have like our DBs are kind of young in the indoor game, but our D linemen and linebackers, they're not as young and they had some games. So, yeah, it was very fast, though.
What was the most challenging thing for you as a defensive back in adjusting to the new indoor football league game? Like, just give us some nuts and bolts of that. What's the most challenging aspect? Like finding the receiver coming out, or is it that too high motion and like these dudes are going full speed now at the snap and you're standing still and now I got to all of a sudden catch up to them in a back pedal?
It's actually all of that. It's all of that. Coming from outdoor football, you don't have this. You have all stationary receivers, and then I watched some Canadian football, and that's where they have the motion. And
yes.
I have some friends who actually play in Canada, so I asked them how do they guard the motion receiver. So like the first couple of weeks here, it was very challenging. It was very challenging along with the rules. You have to mirror the receiver, but I believe like I got it fast with the help of our offense and just learning and watching games online. So it helped me a lot. Just asking questions and seeing others.
But at the end of the day, it's playing football, right?
Playing football, exactly.
Travion, as the game went on, could you feel the defense getting better? Could you feel the defense getting more confidence? Because I could see it coming on. Could you see a JP up in the booth?
Oh, absolutely.
The defense was getting better as the game went on.
Communication was getting better. I believe everything is getting better. And our defense, I believe that we're really gelling together. So.
And listen, that's only week one. I mean,
exactly.
You guys have had really one solid week of practice. You go back to work tomorrow. Have you had a chance to look at Vegas at all? What do you see from those guys?
Vegas, I have watched first half of their first week game or last week game. I believe we played another veteran team, in my opinion. Duke City was a veteran team. I believe Vegas has a veteran quarterback and some veteran receivers as well. So, yeah, we have a couple like 6 veterans, I believe. But I believe that if we just gel together, it doesn't matter on how much you've played in the league. If you're communicating and bouncing off each other, you're going to play football really well.
And I think going up against Gary Brown, Xavier Amy, Greg Dent, and others, Vincent Gregory, I thought that was a really good test for you guys right off the bat to see exactly where you are. It was a really good litmus test to see where the secondary was, as you mentioned, your brothers up front and the linebacking core.
Yeah, they had a really veteran team. I believe they've been together around 4 or 5 years, and most of us on our defense hasn't even been playing in the indoor league that long. So just for us to get the game down fast within the first 2 drives and calm down our nerves, I believe we got everything we wanted except the win, but I believe our confidence is really building.
Travion, what did you know about Prescott Valley, Arizona before you came to play professional football here? And it's kind of a 2-part question. Had you ever been to Arizona before that as well?
I'm going to answer the second question. I've never been to Arizona.
Okay.
I've always wanted to visit Arizona.
Okay.
The furthest west I've been was Vegas, and I love the dry heat, so I thought that's what I was going to get in Arizona.
Home run. It's coming, brother. Just wait.
Man,
run.
I'm not looking forward to that, but
don't ask for that because you'll get it.
And there won't be a whole lot of dry heat when we go to Vegas in a few weeks, so that's okay. But you'll get plenty of that here in Arizona come June.
But Prescott, I had to get used to that.
Yeah, you got it.
This is Prescott Valley. Prescott's up the road a little bit.
I had to get used to that, but it kind of reminds me of my college town in Ohio, Oxford, Ohio. It's really a small town, about 45 minutes to Cincinnati. But this is actually bigger than the college town, but like the town isn't as fast paced, and that's coming from Chicago, where I'm from. It's fast paced. Here it's kind of slowed down, like my college town, and I really actually like the slow down towns. You get to just chill, think, and I got to get the hiking here, man. I got to find some people. Y'all got to help me. On some trails.
Well, I think you should. I mean, I've heard there's a lot of good hiking stuff around here, Ed, all over Arizona, Travion, not just here in Prescott Valley where the weather is really perfect right now, but all over the state.
A little bit too windy though. But
yeah. It's all right though. If you like hiking, you've definitely come to the right place.
You doggone right. TB, how excited is your family for you to have this opportunity to play professional football?
Really well. They're watching right now too.
All right.
Oh, they are?
Well, give them a shout out. Who's watching and tell us who's watching right now.
I don't know who exactly is watching, but I know the fan watching, and I love y'all and thank everybody for the support.
Well, defensive back Travion Banks joining us here on the program for your Northern Arizona Wranglers. Thank you so much for your time, Travion. We appreciate it. We're looking forward to you getting back to work this Saturday night inside the Finley Toyota Center. 6:05 kickoff inside the FDC. We'll be right back here to wrap up this edition of the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup right after this. Stay with us.
That's funny. Desert School's changed their name.
Yeah, now it's Desert Financial.
Alice Cooper! Wait, what are you doing here?
I'm telling everyone, school's out.
For summer?
Forever.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Dude, put your card in.
You got a voice, Molly. Use it. Do it for the phone.
Let's do it for the phone. They do so much for you. When they're out there all alone, there's something we can do. T-Mobile, look at these maps, they don't lie. And faster speeds nationwide. Let's do it for the phone.
There's a little piece of magic in the heart of the Verde Valley, where adventure is encouraged. Whether you're whining and dining, rocking and rolling, or pushing and pulling, it's your adventure. Play however you choose.
Who's to say you don't have the skills to reach the top? Who's to say you don't have power? to say you can't own the stage? Who's to say you can't put a team together? Who's to say who's best? The best ever? Or who will be in the future? And with this game-changing team to inspire us, who's to say what's possible for you? Pepsi, play to inspire.
We welcome you back inside Buffalo Wild Wings here in Prescott Valley, Arizona. Ed, another great edition of the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup. We visited with Coach Moss, quarterback Garrett Kettle, and defensive back Travion Banks. I'm excited. This team is really coming together, and call it cliche, I don't really care. I think we got a really good shot at making another one at one of these suckers.
I would love to see it say 2023 national champions, but there's a lot of work ahead for this football team if they want to have another one of these. But I'm, like JP said, I'm excited and I am ready to see what we can do on Saturday against the Vegas Nighthawks. I know this team is on the rise. They'll get some good practices in this week to get ready for Vegas. That is going to be a tough opponent. DeQuan Neal and his guys are going to come in here ready for blood. They're looking to go 2-0. They're looking to make us 0-2. So we got to come out and show and prove big time on Saturday night.
You better believe it. And you think we played an experienced team last week in the Duke City Gladiators.
Yes,
DeQuan Neal is the epitome of experience. Coach Moss had him on the Iowa Barnstormers team back in 2021. And this guy's knows how to play quarterback and really take command of an offense.
Yes, he did. We've seen him quite a few times with the Tucson Sugar Skulls over the last couple of seasons. So we know DeQuan can come in and he can sling the football. You saw what he did against Iowa over the weekend, opposite of our game.
Yes.
So this is going to be a true test for the defense, but I believe that they can step up to the task and make things happen.
Make sure you join us 6:05 p.m. this Saturday night inside the Finley Toyota Center. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com. And hey, if you can't make it out to the game, we always encourage you to watch live online on the Indoor Football League YouTube channel. Ed and I will have the call for you as always. Thanks again for tuning in tonight. Another edition of the Northern Arizona Wranglers Roundup, a success here at Buffalo Wild Wings. Thanks to the management staff here at B-Dubs for having us out tonight. And we look forward to doing it again 2 weeks from tonight here on the Northern Arizona Wranglers YouTube channel. Everybody have a great night. Take care, and we will talk to you again very soon. Go Wranglers.
Go Wranglers.